Why did my childhood home have a hidden room? I never planned to move back home, but life loves wrecking your plans like a toddler with a tower of blocks. I was 26, unemployed after my startup flamed out in a spectacular blaze of unpaid invoices and half-baked ideas. My girlfriend bailed the same week, told me she was done supporting someone chasing failure. Ouch. My bank account looked like a bad joke and my lease was almost up. So I did the thing I swore I'd never do. I packed 3 suitcases and drove 4 hours back to the house I grew up in. Same mid-century ranch, same peeling yellow siding, same weirdly long hallway that always felt like it was watching you. I'd only been back for the occasional holiday since college, and I never stayed long. Something about that house always made me itch. Mom greeted me with her usual tight hug and the standard backhanded compliments. You need a haircut. You've lost too much weight. Those shoes look like they've been through a war. Dad nodded, handed me a beer without a word, and turned back to his evening news like I wasn't a grown man dragging my failure back through their front door. They gave me my old room. It was like walking into a time capsule. Same twin bed, dinosaur posters, the crusty glow-in-the-dark stars still clinging to the ceiling. Honestly, it felt more haunted than any horror movie basement. A week in, I got restless. Between Mom's questions about job applications and Dad pretending I didn't exist unless I was holding a rake, I needed something to do. So I started snooping. Not in a creepy way, just poking around. Old photo albums, boxes in the garage, junk drawers, but something about the house always felt like it was hiding something. Not ghosts exactly, just secrets. Then on a random Tuesday afternoon, while I was cramming a stack of books into the linen closet, I felt a cold draft. Odd, since all the windows were shut. I ran my hand along the back wall and felt a line, an edge. I pressed on it and the panel shifted inward with a soft click. Behind it, a narrow dark gap, dust in the air, cobwebs, and at the end, an old wooden door. I had to crouch to get through the gap, but the door wasn't locked. When I opened it, the creak was so loud I almost bailed right then. The room inside was about 10 by 10. No windows, bare walls, a desk, an ancient-looking lamp, shelves full of old books, some notebooks, and in the corner, a twin mattress on the floor with a faded red blanket on it. And here's the thing, it didn't feel abandoned. There was no dust, no rot. The blanket wasn't stiff with age or moth-bitten. It looked used, like someone had been here not long ago, or like someone might still be. My skin went cold. I stood there for what felt like hours, just staring. It made no sense. Why the hell did my parents' house have a secret room, one that looked lived in? I started going through the shelves. Most of it was boring, old mystery paperbacks, notebooks filled with what looked like journaling. But a few pages stuck out. There were sketches, maps of the house, notes about us, my parents, me, when I went to college, when I visited home. Weird details, like someone had been keeping tabs. I confronted my parents that night, walked straight into the living room and dropped one of the notebooks on the coffee table. Want to explain this? Mom froze. Dad took one look and turned pale. We told you to leave that closet alone, he said, voice low. That's it? I snapped. There's a room back there, a room someone's been living in. Mom started crying. Dad sat down hard in his chair and didn't say anything for a long time. Then finally, it was your uncle, he said. He lived with us for a while, before you were born. I blinked. I don't have an uncle. You did, Mom whispered. They told me he was troubled, came back from the army messed up, paranoid, kept to himself, couldn't be around people. They made the room so he'd have somewhere safe, somewhere hidden. He'd left eventually, or so they thought, but they never really checked. They just assumed he was gone. And I realized then, they weren't lying. They didn't know if he was still around or not. Maybe he was. Maybe he'd been watching us the whole time. I didn't sleep that night. Still don't, sometimes. Click the full story to see what happened next.